What's up guys, Chase here at Rocky Mountain UTV MC and welcome to our UTV Protection Guide. Alright guys, so here at Rocky Mountain we carry hundreds of aftermarket parts and accessories for your side-by-side. Now let's be honest, we know you guys have spent a lot of money on these things and you want them to last a long time, which is why we made this video. So we're going to show you how to give your side-by-side great all-around protection from the ground up. So really no matter what you encounter while you're out riding, you're going to have a great time and you're also going to have great protection for your machine. So sit back, relax, let's get right to it. All right guys, so the first thing we're going to talk about is going to be how to protect the bottom of your side-by-side, and that's going to be with your skid plate. Now, when you buy a side-by-side, most of them are going to come with the stock skid plate. However, in most cases, these aren't going to give you the amount of coverage, the protection, or the durability that you're really going to look for. So here at Rocky Mountain, we carry a large variety of skid plates, and the one we're going to talk about today is going to be the Quiet Glide from Tusk. Now this thing is absolutely awesome. It's going to give you full coverage from side to side and then front to back, and it's going to have overlapping pieces along with countersunk hardware on the bottom. So it's going to give a nice smooth surface, and it's really going to create little chance of getting it snagged on rocks or logs or whatever it is that you're going to be going over. Now these things are killer because they're made right here in the USA, and it's made out of UHMW, which stands for ultra high molecular weight. Now there's a few characteristics about UHMW that really make it a perfect material for your skid plate, and the first is that it has a low friction coefficient. So compared to aluminum, if you do get snagged on a rock or a log when you're out driving, it's going to glide over much easier. And the other is that it has pore memory shape, which means that in most cases, it's going to go back to its original shape if you do hit it on something pretty hard, whereas aluminum is much more prone to denting or bending. And the third is that most people don't think about this a whole lot, but UHMW is a lot more quiet. So if you are banging rocks or logs, or if you have debris kicking up from the bottom and hitting the bottom of it, it really does dampen the noise a lot better. Now for your newer models, this is something I wanted to point out because this is a really cool feature about this Quiet Glide skid plate, is here on the sides, they actually designed the skid plate for these brackets to wrap up around the lip here. So it's going to give you a little bit more protection to your rocker panel in the body. But if you are wanting more protection for your rocker panels, you're going to want to look at rock sliders, and that's what we're going to talk about next. All right guys, so next we're going to talk about rock sliders. Now rock sliders do a great job of giving protection to the chassis and the body, and they're going to mount directly to your rocker panels. Now what's nice is that they come with designated mounting positions, so really anybody can put these on from their own house. Now most of these are made from heavy duty steel, and we carry a large variety here at Rocky Mountain, and you've got really two options. You can go low profile, which is like this Polaris one that we have installed here, which sits very close to the machine, or you can go with something more like the Polaris Extreme Kickout. Now that one, it's made from steel tubing, and it's gonna mount the same, but it's gonna stick out about 5 inches. Now one of the benefits that people really like about it is that it helps prevent your rear tire from catching when you're taking a sharp turn around obstacles. Now one thing to keep in mind is that if you are running an aftermarket skid plate and you wanna run rock sliders, you just wanna make sure that those two are gonna be compatible. All right, so now we're going to talk about suspension. Now all your suspension components, your A-arms and your trailing arms, those sit low to the ground. So those are going to be very vulnerable to lots of different impacts. Now depending on your machine, you could have a combination of A-arms, trailing arms, and radius arms. The nice thing is that here at Rocky Mountain, we offer protection for all of these. Now we're going to start out with A-arms. For A-arms, you're going to have A-arm guards, which are going to protect those, and also your CV boots. Now, most of these are made from aluminum. However, Polaris does make some for a few models that are made out of HMW. Now, if you have trailing arms on your side-by-side, we have trailing arm sliders. Those are going to be made out of either aluminum, UHMW, or you can get them in a combination of the two. Now on the topic of trailing arms, one thing I do want to point out is Tusk makes what's called the trailing arm mount slider kit. Now these are awesome because your mounts on the bottom of your machine for your XP1000s, they sit lower than anything else on the bottom. So these are typically the first things that make contact with hard obstacles underneath you. Now these are great because they're actually designed to work with that Quiet Glide skid plate from Tusk. However, if you are running a different skid plate, you might have to do some modification to get those to work. Now for you guys out there that are a little more extreme, we do offer high clearance A-arms, trailing arms, and radius rods. Now these are obviously going to give more clearance for those obstacles underneath you. Now a great example of those are going to be the Zebros high clearance suspension components that we have installed on this XP1000. All right, so the last thing we're gonna talk about is gonna be your front and your rear bumpers. Now, bumpers do a great job of protecting your side-by-side from rocks and debris. They also give a nice, good, aggressive look to your machine. Now, what you go with as far as size really just depends on how much protection you're looking for. And let's be honest, at the end of the day, you're gonna want something that looks really cool as well. Now, we have a lot of different options here at Rocky Mountain. You can go with something low profile. One that we like is the racing front bumper from Pro Armor. Or if you want something bigger than that, you can go with something like this EXO front bumper from Tusk. Now, the larger front bumpers are nice because they give full coverage along the front. They're gonna protect your headlights. Now, these are made from heavy duty steel. This EXO is gonna mount down here at the bottom of your frame, then it's also gonna mount up here on your A-pillars. Now, moving on to the rear bumper, again, we have small and large bumpers, and we carry a lot of different options here at Rocky Mountain. And again, what size you go with just depends on how much protection you're looking for and also which one you think is gonna look the best. Now, we like to run this rear bumper cargo rack from Tusk. There's a lot of great things about it that really come in handy. The first is that you're gonna have the spare tire holder right here, and this is actually completely removable, so you can take it on and off in just a few minutes. Now, it's made from heavy duty steel tubing, and it's gonna mount directly to your frame, so it's gonna be very, very sturdy. Now, we use this thing for a lot of different applications. We mount our jack to it, our fire extinguisher, and it will also accommodate a fuel pack, so a lot of different options with this rear bumper. All right, guys, so thanks for checking out our UTV protection guide. Now remember, head over to our website at RockyMountain8VMC.com, enter the make, model, and year of your machine, and you'll be able to scroll through and see all the parts that we talked about today, along with all the hundreds of parts and accessories that we offer for your machine. Now, if you ever have any questions about fitment or compatibility, you can comment below, give us a call here at Rocky Mountain, or use our live chat on our website. We have technicians standing by ready to answer your questions. Now remember, as always, anything over $99 is going to ship free. Now, the last thing I need you to do before I let you go is I need you to click and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We would love to hear your thoughts and comments of what we talked about today. I'm Chase here at Rocky Mountain, and we'll see you on the trails.